people are several generations removed from the farm. I mean, America was founded on agriculture and was an agricultural country for years. It took a lot of labor 100 years ago. And now one person can go out with a big tractor and do what it used to take 100 people to do. My name is Frank Will. I'm one of the owners here at Mount Crawford Creamery. We are the fourth generation now to be farming here. Our great-grandfather moved up here in 1925 from Timberville. He ran it as a general crop and livestock farm. At that time, back in the 20s and 30s, your cash crop was wheat. Everyone grew wheat for cash. And of course they were self-sufficient. You know, you had your cows and your chickens and your pigs and stuff for your meat. My dad and uncle purchased the farm from their grandfather after my dad got out of the service. They built the building which you see out here when you came in the road, and that's where they started milking then as a grade A dairy and sold milk to Shenandoah's Pride, which was the local co-op in Harrisonburg at the time. My dad built the dairy behind us that we're still using in 1977, and we're still milking there to this day. Well, it starts with the baby calves that you see behind us. These are all heifer calves that'll be raised and eventually will go into the milking herd. Once the cow or heifer has her first calf, she enters the herd. She'll be milked with the rest of the cows. The milk, what we do different, what makes us different is that we actually keep our milk here on the farm and process it and sell it directly to consumers and wholesale some to other stores that they sell. I think the more that you can keep it localized, it's just better for the community. When you have these great big farms, they're not invested in the community like we would be or anyone else who has their own farm right here. It just kind of trickles down to everything, your churches, your schools, like your 4-H clubs, anything like that. When you get bigger companies, corporations controlling stuff, you lose something. You know, you gain something, but you lose something. So it's all in how you want to look at it. My brother and I, we're mainly on the farming production side of it, taking care of the cows, getting them milked and stuff. And my nephew, Kenny's son, Jeremy, is in charge of the plant and the processing and does a real good job with that.
So in the morning, we usually get started about 4 o'clock. We have to come in, everything gets a wash cycle and a rinse cycle. So we run soap water through all the line sets, then we run acid water through all the line sets, and that takes any of your bacteria, of course, that's come in there overnight. Then we start by pumping over our milk. It comes from our 1,300-gallon holding tank in our actual dairy. We pump it over, it goes through our cream separator. We'll run our skim milk and our 2% milk through the cream separator. Then it all gets pumped over and into our 600-gallon pasteurizer. Once it's in there, it'll cook for 30 minutes. We pump it out of there. It goes through our plate cooler, which is the big yellow thing in the back. After that, it gets pumped over into our 500-gallon holding tank, which is right here. Once our milk's in there, we open up our valves. It all goes overhead, over to our filler. We have a gravity feed, 6-valve filler. So once we turn it on, our bottles go around the carousel. Our end feed will pick our bottle up. It goes through, the plates lift up, open up the nipples. The nipples fill the bottle, it comes around. Our second transfer will place the cap onto the bottle. Then it comes off that transfer onto the third carousel, which will actually snap the cap. We use 35mm snap caps, not screw caps. Comes back off of that onto our conveyor. Conveyor comes down, places on our label with our date on it, goes to the crates, in the crates and into the cooler.
This is the Virginia Dairy Expo, so it's an opportunity for the dairy industry to get together, and celebrate. This is June, is Dairy Month, so it's a day of, food, fellowship, and really an opportunity for our dairy farmers to come together and celebrate what makes our industry great. So agriculture is the #1 industry in Virginia, and so and dairy is the 5th largest commodity, and so you look at just dairy processing has an economic impact of over $5 billion in direct sales in Virginia. And if you add dairy farming, that's several $billion more that's added to the local economy. And so a lot of it stays here local. So especially here in Rockingham, all those farms, the businesses they're supporting are also here in Rockingham. So whether it's equipment sales, veterinarians, feed, energy, fuel, fertilizer, all that is being purchased by some businesses. So it really supports not just the farms, but the local community as well, where those people live and work. People more and more want to know where's their food coming from. And so we have a lot of farms that are interested in providing that. And so Mount Crawford Creamery is a perfect example, where they saw this need for people wanted to be able to get sourced good products locally, and they wanted to be able to see the farm themselves. And so they've done a great job of opening up their farm, allowing people to visit, and then come away with great milk or going next door and getting ice cream. And so it really works for not just people locally, but also there's a lot of tourists coming here, obviously to Massanutten and things like that. They're looking for things to do, and this is a great opportunity. I mean, who doesn't love to go get an ice cream, cone on a day like today, and enjoys go get coffee with fresh cream or things like that. And so it really just ties in well with what Rockingham County is doing.
We've had good support since the day we opened. We've had good support from the community. This is still our best stores right here on the farm. They come, they know it's fresh, they know where it comes from, and I think a lot of them just like to come here to the farm and get it. It's a good feeling when people come here and they can get their milk off of you, and they tell you how good it is and how much they appreciate us doing this. That's a good feeling.